Getting fluent in English is so simple, and by the end of this video, you will know how to learn English so fast it feels like cheating. And by so fast, I mean in 90 days, which is approximately 3 months. Does that sound good? Then keep watching. If you're new here, welcome to English with Jay. I'm Jay, an English student teaching other English students around the world what I have learned in English. And today, I'm gonna teach you how to learn English so fast you get fluent in just 90 days. So in order to learn English and be fluent in it in just 90 days, you're going to need to focus on the 3 most important skills in English. And that is the vocabulary, listening skills, and speaking skills. These are the 3 areas that we are going to focus on in the next 90 days. And as someone who has learned English from zero and can now speak it fluently, I can tell you for sure that it took me a couple of years to get there, but it shouldn't have taken me that long if I had this knowledge that I'm about to share with you in this video. We're so used to the normal way of learning a new language, and in this case English. We're so used to the school method that you have to take a lot of time for you to be able to learn English. You have to read a lot of books in English and just focus your whole energy and strength in the grammar before you actually get fluent. And that is not the case. And just to give you proof that it's possible to learn English in just 90 days, let me just give you an example. If I take you to Rome and just drop you right in the middle of Rome and tell you I wanted to learn Italian in just 90 days, will you learn it or will you not learn it? You'll learn it in 90 days. You will be fluent in Italian and you will be speaking in Italian. And how many people do you know that studied a language in college, whether it's French, Mandarin, that can no longer speak that language right now? Several people, right? So that is just proof that the amount of time you take to become fluent is out of the equation. It can take you as little as 90 days to become fluent in a language. And with that being said, let us get to this 3-step formula that I'm going to share with you. This strategy that I'm going to teach you today focuses on introducing you to English, helping you familiarize with English, and finally helping you speak in English. The first step is to introduce yourself to English. And how do you introduce yourself to English? By learning English vocabulary, basic English vocabulary. And this you are going to do for a whole month. 2 to 3 hours a day. You have to focus immensely on learning English vocabulary, basic English vocabulary for 1 whole month, 2 to 3 hours a day. It is very important that you immerse yourself in the English vocabulary. No speaking, no listening, just basic English vocabulary. And that's because to be fluent in English, you have to speak in English, right? And for you to speak in English, you have to make or create a sentence in English. And where do those sentences come from? They come from words. And words are the vocabulary that help you create sentences. So you have to learn the words first. How are you going to do this? You're going to look for basic English textbooks. You're going to look for basic English storybooks and just get as many English vocabulary words as you can possibly get. Basic stuff in English, just like greetings in English. Hello, hi, how are you today? Good morning, good evening. Those are the things that you should first start by learning. You should also get to learn how to ask for help in English, just basic things in English. How to say goodbye in English. How to name objects in English. How to name family members in English, plurals in English. Just start by the basic stuff in English. Create and build an English vocabulary. This will introduce you to English. Become a baby and just absorb the basic English vocabulary. Just like a baby, they just absorb the basic words that they listen to on a daily basis, like mommy, daddy. They don't start by absorbing the huge phrases. They start by the small words. Mom, dad. Then they later enhance their vocabulary. That is the procedure you need to follow. So now that you build an English vocabulary for a whole month, the next step is to learn how to use the vocabulary you've learned to construct or create sentences, especially in conversations. And how are you going to learn that? You're gonna learn that by listening. You're gonna listen to how native use vocabulary or words to construct sentences. And you're gonna do that by just listening to the flow and rhythm of English. Most people usually skip the first stage and just go directly to the second stage. And that's where most people get stuck. And that's because they didn't first introduce themselves to English, and when they start by listening, it is kind of weird and it gets awkward because English is a new language to you and it's gonna sound weird. This stage is gonna help you familiarize yourself with English. You've introduced yourself to English. Now it's time for you to familiarize with what you've learned. And this involves immense and intense listening, immersing yourself in the English language. By listening to 20-minute podcasts 2 to 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. It is very important that you listen to podcasts several times a day, or just listen to English videos 2 to 3 times a day. I prefer English vlogs because you will just know how English is being spoken naturally while doing your daily activity. This is called immersion. You have to immerse yourself in English. And if you're wondering, where am I going to get all this time? Well, you can do this while in traffic. You can do this while doing your laundry. You can do this while showering. You can do this while decluttering your kitchen. You can do this while clearing your backyard. You can fix this in your daily activities. This is also called passive listening. So you're going to do this for a whole month, every single day, 2 to 3 times a day. 2 to 3 times a day for a whole month, every single day. You have to put in the effort. I know it's simple. I didn't say it's easy. You have to put in the effort if you want to see immense progress. If you do this for 30 days repeatedly, I promise you, you will start to understand English. You will be able to listen and understand English. But don't stop there. Most people stop at this stage. Now that you can listen and understand English, you're all good. But what good does it do when you can just understand but cannot speak in English? And that's why most people, they can understand English quite well. But when it comes to speaking, that's where they draw the line. And that's why you need the last and final step, which is very important while learning English. Speaking stage. And this is the time to put in the practice, to put in everything that you've learned into action. There's no progress without action. You have to put in all the listening, all the vocabulary into practice. And that calls you to speak in English. There's no way you are gonna be fluent in English if you do not speak in English. You can learn all the vocabulary, you can listen to every English podcast in the whole world, but if you cannot convert that input into an output, then you're not fluent in English. So combine your vocabulary and your listening skills and put them into practice by talking to yourself in the mirror in English, or just by recording yourself by speaking in English and reviewing it later just to listen to how you sound while you speak English. You can also talk to a friend in English, and if you have an English teacher, you can also talk to your English teacher and get reviews on how your English sounds. So whether you're doing mirror talk, whether you're recording yourself by talking or talking to your English teacher, just ensure that you're talking and adjusting. It's not gonna be perfect the first time you do it. You are gonna make tons of mistakes. You are gonna mispronounce words in English. And the most embarrassing one is you're also gonna forget your English words in the middle of sentences while trying to speak in English. But do not panic. It's normal. Everyone makes mistakes. Remember, this is a new language. You are new to it, so it is very much normal when you make mistakes. Just ensure that you are making mistakes and learning from them. This is actually the first stage to learn English. If you follow the 3 steps that I've just given you today in this video, in 90 days, you will be fluent in English. You have to stick to the process. I really hope this video was helpful. And with that being said, let's catch up in my next video. Bye-bye.